It's the Curiously Insane Podcast. Tyler T with the facts.
What it do, what it be? It's your boy Tyler Transue here with the Curiously Insane Podcast, where we find out what fires people up, and in doing so, we fire you up to find your Everest and climb it. Cause baby, it ain't the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of fighting the dog. Let's go, bro. So yo, today we have the one and only Derek Lau. And before I let this man talk, let me say, I recall how I stumbled upon you, bro, or how you stumbled upon me, rather. Like I had just gotten into filmmaking 5 years ago, I think it was, or 4.5. I'd been doing it maybe for a year. Recently got a camera and gimbal, and I was at a filming a t-ball game for a family. And like you being the avid filmmaker that you are and the outgoing person that you are, I remember you came up to me afterwards and you're like, hey man, like, yeah, my name's Derek. You introduced yourself, told me about Ada Media, invited me to Lancaster Film and TV group. And so like, I'll just never forget you taking the time to reach out to me, especially early on, and how that helped propel me to continue doing what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah,
So,
no, I definitely remember that baseball game as well. Yeah, I saw you out there hustling, man. You're out there busting your ass. So,
dude,
yeah.
I got one speed. Go.
Right.
I'm like Charlie
right,
Sheen,
right.
bro.
Yeah.
Dude, so thank you so much for coming on as a guest. Bro, what are you doing with your life, man? I see that you hustle, right? You hustle like I do. And I know you're into a ton of stuff. The thing that first caught my attention was Adium Media, or Ada Media Solutions, correct?
Yes. Yeah, Ada Media Solutions. Yeah, that's our video production company.
And how did you get into that? I think from your Facebook, like, so you did go to school for
Yes.
Cinematography, broadcasting?
Yeah, I went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia, and the reason I went there was because I was an avid skateboarder growing up, and some of my friends would send in sponsor videos so we could get some free swag. You know, we'd make a video, make an edit, and send it into a wheel company or a sticker company or a truck company or whatever it was, and they send us free stuff and things like that. And
Yeah.
I went to Philadelphia because that was at the time the skateboarding mecca of the East Coast. Love Park, God bless the designer, that architect that made Love Park, because I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but he designed a beautiful, beautiful skate park. And people would travel. I mean, pros would come. So I picked that as my school. So I moved to Philadelphia when I was 18 and started film school when I was like 18, 19 years old. And the school was 3 blocks away from Love Park. So that's pretty much why I chose the school. And you'd go there on some nights, it'd just be some random people there. Some nights there'd be some really good, like all-star, like Philly locals. And some nights you'd go there, you'd see your favorite professional skateboarder that was from California or from New York City or Philly or wherever. People would travel all over, and they would always hit Love Park. And people started doing tricks there, and then somebody wanted to do a better line there, a better trick, and try and one-up the last person. And then when they found out that they were closing down Love Park, there was a huge rush of people, and that's when I was going to film school there, and my dorm rooms were a block and a half away from Love Park. So my goals and aspirations early on was, once I went to Philadelphia, it was pretty humbling, because in Lancaster, there's a handful of skateboarders, so it's easy to be a big fish in a small pond, or a medium fish in a small pond. I wasn't even one of the top skateboarders around here. I mean, I was like respectable, but I wasn't one of the top dudes.
Right.
But, yeah, in Philadelphia, it was really humbling, because there was all kinds of awesome people there. So my goal was to become a professional skateboard video maker. A lot of the big skateboard teams like Element Skateboards and Birdhouse and Flip Skateboard, all these companies have their own in-house media team. They have their own in-house photographer, their own in-house video production guy or gal, and that's what I wanted to do. So that is pretty much what made me choose that. I didn't pick the school for the school itself. I picked the school because it was 2 blocks from the skateboarding mecca of the East Coast at the time. So,
Dude, well, that's sick. So you've always been one to kind of follow your heart, or, do what fires you up, right? Really not necessarily maybe what you think other people want you to do. Like
Yeah.
you love skateboarding,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
seemed like the right place for you.
Yeah. I actually had a full scholarship to go to Penn State for electrical engineering, and my mom had me all signed up and was trying to, kind of push me in that direction. I had a full ride to go there for free. And I told her, I said, I want to go to art school. I want to make videos. And she tried to talk me out of it. And I told her she made me go to Penn State for electrical engineering. I was going to flunk out on purpose. So she got behind my dream and helped me pursue it and helped me fill out all the paperwork for financial aid and get me all set up. So yeah, gotta love mom.
Love it.
Gotta love mom.
You gotta, dude. You got to give props to mom, man. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at today without, between the love and support, the encouragement growing up. I remember even times getting in trouble for being a knucklehead, and I'm just
I was definitely a knucklehead.
You can do whatever you put your mind to. You were that type of kid. So even in like in times of angst and stuff like that, they still encourage me to try my best and follow my dreams. So, dude, shout out to your mom for getting you to where you're at. And I like, too,
love you, Mom.
Mom, you're watching. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. This will be viral later. What I also like about your story there, too, is that, like, you seem to be one that, like, rolls with the punches, right? So you go down there, your goals, well, originally, you're saying, like, you wanted to be making videos for these various skateboarding companies, right?
Correct.
And so as that started to fizzle, I mean, did you try there? I mean, you were doing stuff on your own, getting free merch. Did you try and get like linked into any of those, or did you just did something happen?
So I had this buddy, Josh Barch, who I don't keep in contact as much as I should. I still, hey Josh, if you watch this. But anyway, so Josh and I used to film a lot of people at Love Park, and we made some sick videos. We got some really cool footage. We actually did a school project, like a mini 5 or 6 minute documentary on the closing of Love Park and how all the professionals were showing up like the last couple of weeks before they shut it down to kind of one up each other and see who could do the craziest trick. If you're familiar with Love Park, there's all kinds of ledges and blocks and stuff in there, which were a lot of fun to skate. But the main thing was they would drain the fountain when it wasn't hot enough or warm enough out. They would drain that big fountain, and there was those 4 giant block steps, probably about, 15, 20 foot drop down, and probably about a 15, 20 foot launch that you had to clear. So you're going out about 15, 20 feet and dropping down about 15, 20 feet. And you were landing in the pond where the pond would be. And you could only skate that when the pond was drained. So they drained the pond, and they announced the closure of the park in a couple of weeks. And all these professional skaters started showing up to see who could do the coolest trick down that big, 20-foot gap. So, yeah, we got a lot of it on. We got some really cool stuff on film. We got Carrie Getz on film. Who else? We got some of the toy machine skaters on film. I think we got Bam Margera doing some stuff down the gap. We got a lot of really cool footage. So,
dude, that's nasty. So you go to school, you pivot instead of going to with the electrical engineering like your mom wanted. You put her in a position where she had to get behind you, and well done. And you go follow your dream. So did you have any? Well, I guess you said you guys were making these videos before. Like, were you in AV club, or like, how did you have filmmaking experience prior?
Yeah, so I went to Donegal High School, which is one of the smaller schools in Lancaster County. My graduating class was like 115 people, but they actually shut down. They remodeled the metal shop and got rid of the metal shop, and they put in this like state of the art video production facility, state of the art for that time.
Right.
And for as small of a school as it was, we had a really great video production program. And Mr. Larson was my teacher and started doing editing. So I took intro to video production 2, and then I did that my sophomore and junior year. And in my third year, I wanted to do more video production. They didn't have another class, so they actually made up like a credit. The counselor made up a credit, so I did it as a teacher's assistant, which I helped the teacher run the classes, and then like I got to work on my own personal projects a lot as well. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. Was through school and having the resources to do editing, because I was shooting skateboard videos since I was 12, 13, 14 years old, but we had super like rudimentary VHS decks rigged up with really bad edits with fuzz in between the cuts and stuff like that. We would take a CD player and run the audio jack to the input to put our music to it and stuff like that. So it was really rudimentary. So as soon as I had the opportunity to get on a computer that had nonlinear editing, I think it was Premiere Pro like 1.5 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It would crash all the time. It was super slow, and the school didn't even have digital cameras. They were 8mm digital video tapes. So we had to use this video converter to make it digital through the FireWire, bring it in and edit it. And but I loved it. I mean, it was the most fun thing in the world to me at the time. So I mean, it still is. I don't edit much anymore, but I love shooting. So.
And what is it? What do you love about it? Like the ability to tell a story, like visually?
My favorite thing is, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn because it's easy to like say, oh, I made that and it's great. But I love getting feedback from clients saying how much they loved it. Or I love, like we do video marketing. So we don't just make videos. We actually help people run some campaigns and things like that online with the videos. I love hearing, oh, we got this many sales, or we were able to hire this many employees because of the youth. Like I just like helping people solve problems and helping people help their business. And obviously I like to make it look cool and sound good and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I feel you on that level, man. Nothing fires me up more when somebody's like, oh man, I cried, during that scene of whatever, you shot, or,
Right.
oh man, I laughed, or man, that really, I really felt uplifted, right? When I watched that. So it's like, as I continue my filmmaking journey, dude, I just love the ability, like you said, to like, man, what you can create can have like a positive effect on people. You can really touch people, and really, like get them to internalize stuff. And I think that's probably why you guys are successful and you're successful. Is like, oh man, like you understand like building a brand. Right?
Right.
You've built your brand. I can say, yeah, like from what I've seen, you guys do a great job. Like what I see on social media with Hidden Media Solutions is, oh man, well, one, I think you got to be very proud of yourself for, dude, you guys have shooting Rutter's Super Bowl commercials, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Like, how sick is that, man? When you're a 12-year-old shooting skateboarding videos, was that ever on your bucket list? Oh, man, I'd like to shoot a Super Bowl commercial.
No, it wasn't. But no, I'm very, very, very thankful for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So things like that, and I see the clients you're working with. You guys were out today or recently helping a client, right?
Right.
Shooting.
We had a video shoot today out at Thaddeus Stevens College. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I love that you guys are hustling, man. I love the client work you guys are doing. You're doing professional work. Your demo videos look great, man. You do great drone work.
Yeah, we're due for another demo reel. We haven't launched a demo reel in 2 years, so we got to drop something hot soon. So.
Yeah. Well, your boys at High Steel.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when you do your demo reel, and I don't know, do you do like an annual demo reel or anything like that?
I was I kind of do it, but then I get real busy with stuff, and it's like, oh man, I should really do it, but I'm so busy with all this other work.
Yeah, well, it's tricky because like sometimes you'll put one out and you like it so much, like you don't even want to do another one. It's like, so like our 2018 reel, I love our 2018 reel, and then we did a 2019 reel, and the 2019 reel is great. Like, I mean, I didn't edit it. I think Jason Barch at our team edited it. 2019 reel is awesome. But like personally, I like the 2018 one better, and then you put that out, and then they dropped the 2020 reel, and like I love it so much. It's like I mean, you can always do something better, but it's like, man, it's like, we have to update it. It's been 2 years. It's 2020.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it is nice to see that you guys are still doing work here in 2022. So it's like not a bad idea, but I agree. It's like, oh man, we've got like we got to live up to those expectations from that previous video. And if you know it's a great cut, you know you've had great footage with great clients. Right. It's just like, oh man, you know the type of magic, and sometimes maybe like the luck that's involved. Sometimes it's like being at the right place or the right time, man. Like you just, you know, you shoot that stuff and you're going to put it to that soundtrack and you're like, that backing track, and you're like, what? How does this fit? I could not have scripted this better. And so I always try and like just be mindful to like, just be open to change, right? Like nothing's set in stone, man. And just, man, like recently I had to fly out this past Friday to Albuquerque, New Mexico to get 2 more interviews for a Secrets of the Sasquatch documentary I'm working on. And bro, Thursday night at 9 o'clock, I get an email. Oh, your 6 a.m. flight for Friday is canceled. I'm like, I'm like trying to rebook. Their site crashes.
Good news, right? I mean, that would have been almost good news. I'm sorry to cut you off. I mean, who wants to get on a flight at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, dude, me, bro, me. I can nap on the flight out there.
Yes,
we'll nap to the connecting.
I'm one of those guys too. I sleep on the plane. I'm probably
I'll nap then.
Yeah.
And I just love the event. And I have trouble sometimes napping because I'm just like so fired up to go get this, you know, go do this adventure and talk to these people that I have trouble sleeping. But I can sleep when I get back. But so and then they do this. So then United, like 20 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, we rebooked your flight for you." I'm like, "Oh, cool." Like reading the text, it's like, "Oh, for Thursday, like today, like that day, 3 hours earlier." I'm like, "Dude, I can't get on this flight." But like it already took off. But so it's just cool, man, to roll with those punches. It's like, dude, I can get super like upset, or I can start searching for new flights. And same deal, bro. I get out, like I get another flight booked. I had to leave like late that night, late Friday evening. So instead of shooting one when I got there Friday afternoon, the first interview, bro, I had to shoot everything between like 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday. And it's sick. Same deal. Get there. I'll do the economy car I wanted. Gone, man. All these like flight cancellations, I had to give it away, bro. You showed up too late. I get this giant Sprinter van, dog. I could have rolled around with 12 people. I look like a rapper. And again, instead of being upset, I'm like, dude, this will be dope to sleep in this truck, like this truck stop, you know, because I'm not renting a motel, bro. I'm sleeping 3 hours, 4 hours, you know. So, dude, I just love the adventure, rolling up in Sprinter vans and shit, dude. It's like, it's the time of my life, dude. Time of my life. But it's all about perception, because like a lot of people can view that whole scenario, and as each thing goes the other way, it's like, oh, dude, this stinks. Maybe I just don't go. I'm like, nope. We getting this doc finished. We getting this doc distributed. My ass is getting out there. Please believe that.
Yeah, that's one of our company. That's one of our company values is tenacity. And I mean, I've been through plenty of challenges on set and in business and in life personally. And you can't just crawl up in a ball and hide. You gotta do what you gotta do and keep rolling with the punches. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to make things right, or you know, make things better all the time. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. Just keep moving forward, dude. And people like appreciate, I don't know, people respect that, man. Like people, and I think it's contagious too, that like as you interact with other people, they can start having maybe a more positive outlook or positive mindset and not seeing things quite as negatively, right? So to get back to all this stuff. So another cool thing about Ada Media, right, is this wasn't probably on your bucket list, but yo, you guys have a sign at the Lancaster Barnstormers Stadium.
Yep. Yeah, we got a sign out in left field. Yes, sir.
Like, dude, how sick is that? You're a little dude, not little. I don't mean to slam on your height. You're average size, but from Donegal. Okay, I'm 5'9.5". You got me beat, but this mullet's getting pretty big, so we can go back to back.
Spike it up,
yeah. Next time I see you, we'll go back to back. We'll measure it up. But dude, how sick is that, dude? You go, you know, you start learning, teaching yourself, doing skateboarding videos at 12, and here you are all these years later, man. Like your mom, bro. She made the right call getting behind you, dog. Yeah. She doesn't have her son sign, you know, out at a baseball stadium in Lancaster County
Yeah.
if she doesn't get behind you.
They're great to work with. Rob and Mike at the Barnstormers are awesome to work with. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that partnership. So,
Dude, that's nasty. And then I saw recently too is like, oh, dude, you're a curious guy. You belong on the Curiously Insane podcast because you recently started a barbecue food truck, or what do you want to call it? Describe it better.
I might be more on the insane side than on the curious side, but yeah.
Oh, it takes a little bit of that. It takes some of that to get going.
Yeah, started a barbecue food truck with a friend of mine, talking about overcoming challenges. We used to have this event called the ADM Media Video Awards every year, and I met this gentleman because my caterer backed out on me last minute. His name's Vincent, and he catered our ADM Media Video Awards, and he did a couple years in a row, and then he moved up to the Poconos and had a brick and mortar restaurant, and then with COVID and everything, it didn't work out, so he came back down in here to this area, and then I became his business partner. I was going to help him out with some sales and marketing, and I ended up being his business partner. So yeah, so it worked out.
Dude, that is super super cool. What's the name of it again?
Hotbox Bbq.
Hotbox Bbq. You guys are on Facebook, Instagram?
Social media, yeah, Facebook, Instagram. Sorry, I was trying to my son came in here and started talking. I was trying to off camera. I'll just trying to get him to.
I'll do what you got to do, man. If you got to mute it and do some disciplining.
No discipline. No, he's the sweetest kid in the world. I knew he was going to start talking. He was going to keep talking, so I just kind of had to tell him I'll be with him in a minute. But yeah, it's called Hotbox Bbq. Yeah, we started in October. My business partner is Vincent Lewis, aka Flip, and he's been smoking meats since he was 15 years old, and he's very, very, very passionate about it. He has a great product. Pretty much everybody that tries our food loves it. We've gotten great reviews. So a new business, we're trying to water it and feed it and help this little baby grow. And and get that rolling as well. So yeah.
Well, it looks like you're doing a great job. I know, because I know how to I run a lot of the marketing for my TT Productions and then the Dockside Media LLC that I'm partnered with Chris Rupert in. But so I assume, hey, you're doing probably a lot of the ad copy and whatnot for your social media posts. I think you're doing a great job. It looks like and also you've done a good job of. It's okay, well, where can I link in? Where's a place that could use this? And forgive me, I can't remember the name, but is it a club at Millersville University?
Are you talking about Phantom Power?
Yeah, sorry. What's Phantom Power? What is that?
So Phantom Power is a music venue, and I don't know if you know Greg Barley, but Greg Barley was the general manager of the Chameleon Club for years and years and years, eons.
Okay.
Then he was the general manager of Tellus for a really long time as well. So Greg Barley has a ton of experience in the music industry, and he's built some great relationships with all the booking agents and knows all the big bands and can get acts in there. So Greg went out on his own and, put everything on the line and followed his dream and started his own music venue, which is Phantom Power. So that's in Millersville, and it's the old Point of View Theater. It used to be this old kind of independent movie theater, and they also played some adult films.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, your son's in the room. I got you.
It had either a good reputation or a bad reputation, depending on what you're looking for. But anyway, so he took that over. He completely remodeled it, completely gutted it, and super
sterilized the place. I hope.
Definitely sterilize it, and his manager is Shannon, and they, I don't know how much money they put into it, but they remodeled the whole building and redid everything, so it had to cost them a fortune. But their grand opening was March 1st of 2020.
Okay.
So
brings
they
everything
were
shut
open
down.
2 or 3 weeks before COVID hit, and they're still standing. Talk about tenacity and talking about not giving up and talking about rolling with the punches. I mean, they're still there, you know, following their dreams, and they're booking some big bands coming in. They got the Bouncing Souls coming up. They got Foxy Shazam this weekend. My wife and my daughter and I went to the Taylor Swift night dance party there the other week. We had a blast. But yeah, it's a really cool venue. It's in Millersville. It's not downtown or anything, but it's definitely worth the trip, and definitely worth checking out. And you might find Hotbox Bbq there if you're there on the right night.
That's what's up. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, you guys been setting up there. So, and where else are you guys setting up? Do you have any?
Yeah, we have a partnership with Cartel Brewery. So, and that's also another new business. So, if you come down the Fruitville Pike Bridge and you're coming into the city, right before you get to the Neptune Diner, there's that cinder block building on your right. And it used to be, I think it was Gretna Bikes. It was some sort of bicycle shop, and it's a white cinder block building. So, yeah, Sam from Cilantro and Adam Chamberlain is the head brewer, and Cullen from Rejuice. They're the three of them are the partners, and they run the joint. And we worked out a deal with them where we're there every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and you know, we're set up there selling barbecue. And on Fridays we do brisket cheesesteaks. So it's a life-changing sandwich, like in a good way. It's everybody that eats meat, or everybody eats red meat, should definitely give it a shot, because it's out of this world. And I'm not just saying that because I'm involved in the business. Like, I actually didn't get to have one until the second or third week we sold them, because I had to go do another gig. But I had one last Friday for the first time, and it's like it's the real deal.
You thought you were in heaven, dude. You might, yeah. I'm hoping heaven's just filled with these to the ceiling, dog. That's all we need, all day, every day.
Right. Yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Dude, that's sick. And then also, I don't know if so, bro. We got video production, man. Marketing and branding. We've got obviously the food truck that you just got into. I'm not sure. This might be a reach. Are you into real estate at all, or do you just help other?
No, well, I don't flip. Well, not necessarily flip. So, yeah, I have some rental properties.
Rentals,
over in York. So, two of my friends, Keith and Brad, they have a HVAC and plumbing company, and they hit me up. Oh man, probably almost 9 or 10 years ago at this point, and we bought our first rental property for like $25,000, and it was a house in Middletown. This is like 10 years ago. Now we bought it at an auction as well, but we each threw in like 10 grand. Bought this place, needed a little bit of work, rented that out. Right out the gate, we're getting like $900 a month rent, and then after we owned it for a year, we could borrow against it. They appraised it at like 80. They let us borrow 60. Then we bought this house in Columbia for like 45 grand on like an internet auction. Rented that out for like 3 years. And all we did was like paint, and we ended up selling that thing like 5 years later for like 130 grand once the market got hot. And we sold the one in Middletown. We actually closed that partnership down. They still have their own rentals, but then yeah, I got a 2-unit in York, and then my brother and I have a 3-unit over in York. So I'm not like I kind of dabble in it, but it's definitely a sound investment. I mean, you know, knock on wood, I haven't lost any money on real estate. I mean, it's one of those things where, from the way I've looked at it, I have gotten really lucky with finding really good deals. Every single property we've bought, we've pretty much got a killer deal on it, and maximized it. But it's really hard to lose money in real estate, you know. So, man,
well, good looking out. Maybe I'll become some sort of real estate magnate here. That could be the next venture.
Oops, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I got turned off or something.
Oh, it's cool. I assume you had to yell at the kid quick. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. So, but y'all, dude, no, that's awesome, man. And I love it. Same deal, bro. Like, well, one, it sounds like you did that 10 years ago, so you got into it relatively young, you know?
Yeah, I'm 38, so I was 28 back then, yeah.
You know, so that's a leap of faith. And, dude, I'm like a heavy believer in, like, dude, fortune favors the bold, man, right? Like, it's worth taking chances. Like, it's not worth being unhappy and being just a cog in a machine or something like that. Like,
no. No, I definitely think you would regret the things when your life comes to an end. I think everybody's gonna regret the things they didn't do versus trying something and failing. I'm not scared to fail.
It's a
You can't
learning
be.
experience.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
absolutely. And you can't be scared to like. I don't know. Here's the whole thing, man. I feel like there's just a I think it's just sometimes like people don't try, man. Like people would shock themselves, dude. Like we are in the information age, bro. Like what are you interested in? What do you want to learn? Dog, like you can do it. Like
right.
there's people that passionately play Candy Crush. Dude, if you applied that same passion and energy for Candy Crush or Wordle or whatever the new thing is now, like
Yeah,
dude, people I don't know. Like I do, like youth coach like my son's like youth sports teams, and it's a great
right.
age when he's 7 or he's 8 now. So we got flag football coming up. This will be his first year doing that. But bro, at that age, it's like, dude, you just need to get them pumped up and fired up to have fun and try their best. Because bro, every
Yeah,
single kid I've ever seen go from first practice to last game has gotten light years better, bro. If they just try, like muscle memory's a thing, like the way man, like so now I've got I don't know a couple different podcasts, like a couple different production companies and all this stuff. And so like when I open like videos, right, like I have different taglines or sayings or stuff like that, and dude, like learning those like just saying it enough times, you get like that natural cadence and stuff. You know what I mean? It's
oh
like
yeah,
practice makes perfect, bro. It's just and like if you're not happy with if people are not happy with that where they're at in life right now and they are really interested in something, man, I would encourage them to like, dude, look into that because like not only can you learn about it, dude, we're in the age where you can most likely make money off of it.
yeah.
Like if you
Heck,
think
there's
of
people out there making hundreds of $1,000s a year selling pictures of their feet. You gotta be able to make money doing something. This is America.
exactly selling farts in a jar, dude. People like I mean, bro, I
Right,
tried.
right,
I did a
right,
funny video, man, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, early on in my filmmaking career. But I was like, it was like some silly sketch on trying to sell like bottled air from like up on the peak of Ironville in like Colombia, or peak Ironville. And so I did this video. I thought somebody might like. I thought maybe the whole country of China would stumble upon it and just start art. Like I think I got like a big 20 pack of mason jars, right? I'm like, I have people start ordering. Like, I'll sell it. I'll really do it. I'll give them the air. But yeah, I think I'd even like, I remember a couple blizzards, about 5 years ago or so. People were like packing up snow and shipping it to people in Florida, right? People were buying that because like they never see snow.
right.
I remember that was a real lucrative business online, dude. If
Yeah.
like we grew up in a perfect time, man. I'm 36. I'll be 37 here coming up. But man, I have mad respect for you that you actually learned editing and filmmaking on the old, like when you say that there was fuzzy cuts in between footage, like were you taking like whatever film tape, VHS tape, cutting it, taping the
No, no, no,
next?
no, no. We weren't doing that. Don't give me that much credit. No, we
Oh,
literally just
okay.
had two, Walmart or Circuit City cheapest VHS decks you could get, and we would cue the tape up, and we would pause it, cue it to the right spot, hit play, then pause it, so it had the play thing in the middle, and it was like frozen, and
Yeah.
then we'd have another deck on the bottom with a blank tape in it, and then we'd take a CD player that had an audio out, and we would run the white, red, yellow, white. We would
Yep.
run
Yep.
the yellow cable in from the top deck that had the clip queued up, run the white cable in from the top deck, so we got a little bit of skateboarding sound, and then we would run the red cable in from a CD player, and oh no, how did we do that? I forget. We had a trick to get music to it, but that wouldn't make sense with what I was about to say. But we would make cuts to it. Oh, That's where they got really bad. Okay, because we would do it without the red and yellow plug-in. We would do the edit, and then but every time on those old school decks, when you would do like a stop, start, record, they
Right?
weren't professional like deck to deck reels that could do it seamlessly. Like so, every single clip had like a little bit of fuzz in between it, a little bit. So then we would take that edit, which in the old VHS days, it wasn't like digital where you could just make copies of copies of copies and
Right.
it's quality. Back then, you had mastered first generation, second generation, third. So every copy of a copy, and we're already working with 8mm VHS-C tapes, so it already looked like garbage, quality wise and resolution wise. But then, like, so that was the second recording, and then if we wanted to do one with music on it, we would take that whole edit, using that term lightly, that we made, put that in the top deck, then run a CD player or a Walkman with a headphone out into the other audio, and then we would just record it straight from the top on the bottom one, and it made it lose even more quality visually, but then at least had our music to it. So it was some jerry rig stuff back then, but we made it work, and at the time we were super proud of it.
Oh, absolutely. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And B, right. It's like, dude, I bet you were super, super thrilled because it's just like I created that. I had an idea or vision, and man, we put this stuff together.
Right.
And man, it's not the best thing on earth, but and that's like it's cool to just hear that's how you kind of came up in like filmmaking, because my journey was similar, just like not with the old school stuff. It was just like doing it from my cell phone, but editing all on my cell phone with like some free app. And then liked it or started getting clients with that. Well, once I got a gimbal to hold the phone, had some people like wanting commercial work or weddings. So I'm like, oh man, well, I feel bad kind of like taking money doing it with this, so that I got the cameras and all that stuff. But the moral of the story is, dude, like, I don't care. Like, I could watch any video now, right, that anybody makes, and I don't care if it's not my cup of tea. Like, dude, I still respect the hell out of them for going and making that, because I understand what it takes to see through something from start to finish. Whether it looks great or whether it looks crappy, man. It typically takes almost just as much work on the crappy stuff.
Well, that's like the program that you have coming out. What's the length on
that? Conscious Contact, full disclosure, that it's a 69-minute film.
Okay, so it's a feature doc.
It's a feature doc, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know, I did my first feature this past spring and summer in Philadelphia. And I mean,
I saw you guys were shooting stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
One Gun.
One Gun, okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar with like 90s hip hop? You know Nas?
Yeah.
So there's a song by Nas called I Gave You Power, and he like raps. The whole rap, he tells the story as the point of view of the gun.
Oh, okay. Sick,
you ever hear that one? He's like, I gave you power, I made you buck wow, I go blow. How you like me now? I don't know. Anyway, but
I don't want to lie and say I did. I'm sure, but
I'll send you the link to the song.
Send me the link, please.
There's this guy in Philadelphia named Thomas Overton, and he wrote it into a book, and then Donnell Ruckers helped him turn it into a screenplay, and then there's this guy in Philly named Ice, who was a signed record artist on Non-Brigade back in the day. He invested in the movie and made it happen, and then my buddy from film school, Miz, pulled us into the project, and then we bought the red Komodo camera and we shot it all in the red. And in the beginning, it was all honeymoon, it was all sweet and perfect, and everything's great. And then, there's always little hiccups in everything you do. There's always, nothing ever goes smoothly and perfectly. So there's frustrations, and then, like 3/4 of the way through, you're like, all right, let's just get this shit done. But then and then you're wrapping it up at the end, and then you get close to the end, you start to get like emotional. You're like, oh, this is almost over. Like, we're almost done making this movie. It was this whole process, but it did feel like it was like never ending at some time. I mean, it's like, you gotta stick with, it's a lot, it's a lot of work making feature length anything.
It is. Thankfully, Well, I don't know. But this Dockside Media setup's pretty sweet, right? So it's me and Chris Rupert, and
Right.
like we just kind of lean into our skill sets. I like to talk to people and be social, and I love cinematography. I love flying the drone and getting badass footage of like going on adventures, right? So I like writing ad copy.
Yeah.
So like I have no and I'm just curious. Like I just get my like I'm reading subreddits all over the place. You know what I mean? Like I just I
Yeah.
like information. I love different points of view and different perspectives. I try and like yeah, just become well rounded and you know, like yeah, appreciate everybody and their uniqueness and the journey that they're on, shape them into who they are, and that's why they have the actions they have. But so anyway, back to this thing, it's a beautiful, beautiful setup where, dude, like I been coming up like with the names of the docs and the ideas. I like Chris, hey, what do you think of conscious contact, full disclosure? He's like, yeah, dude, that sounds good. You know, book the people. Like I find these interesting people on Twitter and Reddit. Reach out to them, right? People like a lot of this stuff is just like moving my feet, right? Like, and I've got correspondence, like even people that say no, dude. I've had like high level former like government officials and all this stuff. Like, dude, they at least replied to my email. That's nasty. They don't need to talk to me. I'm nobody as far as they know.
Yeah.
So like I love the whole process, even the no's. I don't give a shit. I'm a numbers man. I'm like, bro, if I ask 100 people, there's a certain percentage that will say yes.
Yeah.
And if they look into this, like they see we're having fun, man, we're enjoying this. Like, yeah, it's not when I show up at people's house, dude, I'm a whirlwind, baby. I come in, I got to do all this stuff quick. So I'm moving furniture and bang, throwing up lights quick and throwing up tripods and gimbal and all this stuff. But so I do all that, race home after these flights and interviews, dump the footage onto Drive, right? Because we live in a day and age where like I don't even need to live near Chris Rupert, right? I can give him all these files over the internet. So I dump that all, and then I like you mentioned, a feature is a commitment, right? Between you, me, and the fence post, I don't know if I could. Well, I could edit a 69-minute feature. I could, just because I would make myself do it. But I am much better on the short-term stuff. So like I edit the trailers real quick, the 1.5 minute, 2 minute trailers, because like that's how my mind operates. And it just works out great. So Chris gets all this footage, all these trailers, and then he goes through it, man, and he gets to get his set of eyes on it, and he has that tenacity and persistence to sit and go through I mean, bro, that's a lot of footage. It's a lot of editing. Your brain's got to keep track of a ton of things, right? You got to sync everything up.
Yes.
And you have to keep, when it's that long, you have to keep
I call
like
it
the idea of the story.
Zone.
What's up? I don't know if my internet's dropping or what, but you're like looking a little blurry.
Right.
But yeah, dude. So it's a great setup. Chris bangs out the docs.
One's watching YouTube, and then
Oh yeah, dude.
One's downstairs playing video games, and I'm on the same connection as him. So who knows? It might be my end.
Oh, that's cool, man. I grew up with a sister who got on MySpace when I was trying to download stuff off Napster. I know what this is like. No big deal.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah. So it's just beautiful, man. That Chris Rupert, props to him. He's the one that actually does the full feature edit because, but again, the guy's a beast, bro. A beast. He's probably editing. No shit. He'll edit, a full feature length 69. This last one 73 minutes, I think. That goes to Gettysburg. He'll edit those in like 2 weeks tops.
Nice.
Sometimes less. Sends me,
2
he
weeks
gets
for a feature length cut.
Dude, I shit you not. And he's given me usually like the first half, so I'm watching it. I'm sending the notes back to him on the first half. I get the rest of it. I get the second half. Then I write all the narration, right, for everything. And then we send it off to, to get, for somebody to professionally narrate it. And yeah, dude, I mean, the turnaround on these have been insane. The problem is the distribution. It takes forever to get an answer from them, or even after you give them the deliverables, it's just a lengthy process.
Right. Oh
But
yeah.
but dude, it's sick. So like, like my work is almost done, and we'll have, bro. We just started this company in August, and we're gonna have 5 docs completed, like by summer. They'll hopefully distributed by summer. Like that's madness. That was never on my 5-year plan.
Sorry, I think it was my internet because I just got completely disconnected, so I didn't mean to leave you hanging there.
Oh, it's cool. I was just, stroking my own ego. So
No. And kudos to him because the 2 weeks to do a feature edit that's insane.
Dude, he's an animal, and like,
I'm curious about that insanity.
it's bro. He's a beast. He's got great graphic. He's a great graphic designer too. My graphic design shit. So like we are the perfect match where he like I can do the ad copy, he can do the graphic design, he does the full edits on the features, I do the filming and the trailers. Like dude, it's insane. And just by doing that, man, we can just and so the other thing is like, bro, I can be shooting like we've been shooting all these docs, like 5 different docs kind of simultaneously, right? Like I don't need to wait till one's completely shot to start getting interviews for the next one.
Right.
So it's cool. I just schedule all this stuff, and we're just boop, 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 logging it all in.
So let me ask you this, and if you have to answer this offline, but like, did you guys do? Because congratulations, like you have a deal, right? First off, like
yeah, we got
awesome.
a distribution
like,
deal.
Huge kudos to you.
Thank you.
But like, did you have funding to start this, or did you do it all on spec and then you just went and sold it, or like how did that all like? Did somebody hire you guys to do this project? Did you have like an investor or anything, or you just did it all on your own?
That's a good question. Heart, all on heart, dude.
Yeah.
The entire thing. I mean, you look at it. It was the cost of flights. Now it was the cost like. Chris had an idea in the beginning of August, and he's like, "Oh, man, like we had been doing other short films together. We'd subcontract each other on different commercial work or whatever at times. But he was like, "Oh, dude, what if we started making documentaries, and we can put them out there on YouTube, and like get some, maybe like some passive income, right, from ad revenue." I'm like, "Oh, dude, that sounds cool." And so he was like, "Oh, what about the 7 Gates of Hell?" So it's like this from Hellam, over in Hellam, York. There's this old myth about on this one property, if you walk through these like 7 gates at night, after the 7th one, you're instantly transported to hell. I'm like, "Oh, dude, that sounds interesting." Look up the 7 Gates of Hell. It'll show up.
Okay. So you've made a video about that.
Well, we did. Well, no. So that was the beginning
I
of
haven't
August.
seen that. I saw the Gettysburg one.
So, here's the deal. So August 1st, or around there, he's like, "Hey, let's do this. What about the 7 Gates of Hell?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I start looking into who owns the property. I start reaching out to all these people, and I happen to stumble upon this story on Reddit about this lady named Anjali who claimed she's a former Department of Defense intelligence officer, and then she claims that she met with extraterrestrials in this mountain base in the Mojave Desert. And her Reddit post says, "Hey, she's doing a public press conference at the foot of the Lincoln Memorial in D.C." So I see that,
Wow.
and she's doing that August 17th. So I'm like, "Yo, Chris, bro, this is 2.5 hours away, man. What do you think? You want to pivot and do something? I'll get that because people will be interested in it, and we'll find the story afterwards." So I went and shot that, edited trailer. One, dude, it was just sick. Going down there all myself, all this gear, setting up tripods, gimbal, miking her up, threw a lav on her. Because like same deal. I like reached out to her. "Hey, do you mind if I, put a lav mic on you and all this stuff?" But we shot that, and then, the story just wrote itself from there, where I happened to see a link or a connection between this Anjali lady and another lady named Sue Walker on Twitter, and reached out to her, and got flights booked, and that led to other people. And so, yeah, it was just the cost of flights. And like, as we're going through this, I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, just kind of like an epiphany or whatever. Like, oh, Chris, dude, what about Conscious Contact? Full disclosure, dude, that sounds badass. He's like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Because like, it was based on the interviews I was getting, and so yeah, we had no backing, no funding, bro. Great story. Somebody saw what we were doing early on, right? And they're like, hey, they gave us this offer. And initially I interpreted the offer as, oh, they wanted 20% of the revenue of the doc for X amount of money. And they'd give us X amount of money over 5 docs. And I'm like, wow, that's a good bit of money. We're doing this on our own. We're paying all this.
Right.
And then
they
later,
20%, or they were going to give you 20% of sales.
they were going to give us 5 figures, like a chunk of change, and then to help fund the doc and the flights and whatever, just extra money, and then for marketing, whatever. And then they would get 20% of revenue generated from that doc in return. Okay. But then later it was like, oh no, we want 20% of the company and I'm like, oh, dude. And it was that moment in time where like, yeah, Chris Rupert and stuff. It's like, man, dude, this is a good deal, but bro, or it sounds like a good deal, but man, I believe in my heart, this brand, we're worth way more than that. And then we have to take 20% of their opinion, right? If they own 20% of this company, they get to chip in. And it was one of those things, dude, where we turned it down. We didn't have any word on distribution for months. And Chris Rupert, he's like, we should have taken that money. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, man, we made the right decision, dude. That like we didn't like, don't lose hope. We got this. And shortly thereafter, man, we got that news that we got picked up, and they're interested in other docs. And it's just like, oh, dude, this is insane, man. This is what we've been dreaming of. This is what we've been working working our ass off for. And dude, literally, it's insane. Probably. Well, Chris will tell. I think the only person that legitimately believed we could get picked up for by a distributor, was me. Like, just, I don't know. I'm like, bro, we can do this, man. I know we can. Because it's like, not like there's not other, like, we know other filmmakers. There's other good filmmakers out there, man, locally, like right around here. There's a ton. But I don't know, man. We just followed our hearts and took steps and actions that maybe other people didn't. So if anybody's watching, we're spinning off a subdivision, Dockside Consulting. So if you're trying to get your film distributed, baby, I got the ad copy. I know how to talk to the distributors. I got the connections. You hit us up, and we will point you in the right direction and give you the absolute best chance of getting distribution.
See, that's interesting that you say that, because I was working on kind of a spec project like that too with my friend from film school, Miz, and we met up with some producers out in LA, and his job every day is to pitch TV networks on pilots. And his company that he works on now, they do Extreme Challenge. What's the thing with the Extreme Elimination Challenge or whatever it is, the funny one where people do the crazy stunts? They did Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, and they produced some shows on THC and TLC and the Learning Channel. Right. And he told me it's wild. Like, he might pitch 50 or 60 shows before they bite on one, and the ones that they bite on always surprise him, because he's sold probably 10 or 12 shows already, and the ones he thinks are a slam dunk, they reject.
They don't want.
And sometimes the ones they say yes to are the ones that he didn't think had a shot in hell. So that's awesome that you got whatever you did, your ad copy or whatever your process was, just being yourself, worked out for you. So, well, you were the distribution company. You weren't trying to pitch directly to the networks, correct?
Correct. We went to a distribution company or a studio. I guess they're technically a studio, more or less. Okay. They're called 1091 Pictures. Okay. And they distribute, or they I feel like they might call themselves a studio, but basically they pick up independent films and then distribute them, and they have the connections with the Netflixes and the Apple iTunes and the Amazon Prime and Hulu and all those
Right.
big streaming channels, because it's kind of at a point now where you can't get your stuff necessarily on there. It's not as easy as it used to be.
Right.
And so it was just insane. Like, well, dude, how it was, it's like, okay, well, what are the popular alien UFO documentaries being released? Okay, well, who distributed them? Who's the Oh, well, this is who it is. This is who I gotta go to, right? And now, granted, I generated, a copy or whatever, drafted. It was a long,
Letter.
yeah, email form,
Yeah.
and but had it, we sent it, found a long list of distributors, and sent it to everyone, and I'll be damned if the one that was interested in it was the one that we needed to be in, or the people that.
The first one you looked up that distributed all the other Alien films.
Yep, and
Awesome.
and it was great, dude. And it's like, oh, dude, I was floored too. It's like, oh man, like, bro, they're not picking up tons of. They're not taking every film. You look at their catalog, dude.
Yeah.
Like the stuff they're putting out, some of it's like, oh, dude, like Kevin Smith is an executive producer. Kevin Smith's daughters. There's like people with connections in the film, right?
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know, man. I can't stop smiling that we just.
You should be,
like,
man. You should be proud of yourself, dude.
It's insane.
Not just other people. Like, I'm obviously proud of you, but you should be proud of yourself, man.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And so, man, that's a long answer to whatever. Yeah, your question was about. Hey, did you
So
guys have any funding? We
Did
just
you
did it
just send them a
ourselves.
trailer then? Will you send them the letter and a trailer, or did you have like a rough cut of it, the full length piece done or something?
We waited till we had it all cut. And yeah, we had gone through the revisions and everything. Like, we only do a few revisions. Like Chris does a great job, and he does a good job of taking my suggestions, and then also, ignore, or, sometimes stuff doesn't quite work. So like, dude, yeah, we just send him the copy, the letter, the trailer, and like a link to a private screener of it.
Now, what was 1091? And if you're not allowed to talk about this, to say off end of chat or whatever, but like, what was their policy on like if you had a premiere or not yet? Like, you didn't have a premiere for that doc, did you?
We didn't, and I don't think there was any policy. I don't think there's any policy in general if it has already been premiered. It's just like, well, from henceforth,
Right.
this contract for however length of
So
time
and
it
so owns
is.
the rights, and you get licensing and royalties and all that.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I feel like some of the other stuff they have picked up here, like, we didn't submit ours to any film festivals only because, man, we didn't want to wait. We're like, dude, this thing's great. The pre-screening feedback we've got is nasty, dude. People love this. They're leaving fired up. People that didn't have any interest in aliens or any belief in aliens, they're leaving thinking, I don't know. Maybe,
Right.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, bro, yeah, screw the festivals. We're sending this bad boy in. But I think like the contract, I have to double check, but I feel like we could still submit to festivals if we want. But I think we're just doing so many docs. I don't know if we want to take the time to do all that. Because what
Right.
we're hoping is, man, if we get, say, like 3 of these picked up for distribution, which I think in my heart, there's a really good chance that happens. At that point, it's like, oh, well, dude, if they don't want the other ones, well, man, our brand name might be big enough that it doesn't even matter, right?
Right.
Like, we can release it. Yeah, it just gives us more leverage. We can negotiate with other. No, well, we wouldn't want to do that. These people are great. 1091, you rock if you're listening. We love dealing with you, man. Absolutely. No, they are kick ass. But yeah, dude. So enough about me. Let's get back to you, dude. What else? What's on Ada Media's solutions horizon here? What's on Derek Lau's horizon? Do you have any other ventures you would like to get into? So you shot a feature. That's something new. What else?
I'd like to do. I definitely want to do another feature. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How did the footage look on that red? I'm shooting on Sony APS-C cameras, dog, crop sensor. That's the thing. I reached out to Sony too because I said,
I've
Sony.
seen like 2 scenes that were edited, and they had a down and dirty quick color grade on them, and man, like
That's what red's about,
they were
dude.
awesome. Yeah, I was talking to the editor, Ice, the other day. The guy that invested in the movie, he's actually doing the editing as well. He's an audio engineer, but he knows editing. And then Miz does the final cuts and touch ups and stuff. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see the trailer. I can't wait. They said they're about 60. They said they're a little over halfway done with post production. So I think we're looking at like a May or June release or something like that. But I'm like, every time I think about it, I get super excited. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna have a premiere. We're gonna have a premiere at Zootropolis as well.
So, oh, cool, man! Count me in. I love anything, like I said, man. When people, I respect anybody that makes anything, man, especially feature length, dude, because it's a commitment. The other thing is this is what I like, and I feel like this might be one of your fortes as well. But so for me, like, I enjoy the process of being on set and helping, like, trying my best to get everybody in a mental place or headspot to like just have good energy. You know what I mean? Be at a good place. Like, we got to do this for a long time today, man. So let's have fun, right?
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it. And so I like the directing part and managing and leadership kind of deal also. And I feel like that's probably one of your bailiwicks as well.
Yes, I'm definitely that's definitely something I excel at, is definitely keeping a positive vibe on set. I'm really good at troubleshooting, so if a problem does arrive, I'm normally good at either a quick fix or a fix, just a solution. That's one thing we do. But yeah, definitely keeping everybody happy on set. It's something that I like to do.
And so that's what's sick. Like, then when you watch this feature and this trailer later of One Gun that you shot, like, it's a good feeling to be like, man, dude, that's sick that they look great on camera. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not to be like self-centered or whatever, but it's like cool. It's like, man, it's awesome. I was able to play a little part in helping them feel comfortable being in front of the camera, because it's not an easy thing to do, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we had not like huge name actors, but we had the one guy that was one of our lead roles, because there is no lead role in the movie because the main character is the gun. But the head detective was Christopher Mann. He was one of the bigger roles in the TV show The Wire. And there's a guy named Nakia Dilliard. He was on the reboot of The Wonder Years, and he was in this WB TV show called Black Lightning. And we're a down and dirty, lean and mean team, and we talked about earlier about getting it done. And at first, there's a couple of them were SAG actors. They're with SAG, and I was like, a couple of them, like, at first they're like, "Yo," like looking at each other like, "What the hell did we walk into?" But by the end of the movie, even though we have a different style in our production, and we're a lean and mean crew, but we definitely get things done, and we definitely have some fun on set as well. I could tell they definitely enjoyed the style of how we worked, and definitely enjoy the vibe on set,
And it's nasty, dude, that, like, man, you got to be proud of yourself. Like, it's just cool making like a product, a video that, like, dude, when you grew up watching movies, right? And you saw a cinematic scene, like, nothing like explosions, but just like, oh man, this is a sweet, like,
dude,
like,
there's a couple shots I could name like that right off the top of my head that I know we captured already. They're just like,
I
can't wait to see it come together.
When you watch that, it's like, God damn, dude, I'm making like, Hollywood grade cinema. Like, it's in you. Like, you are capable of doing that, and that's so cool that we're even in a place where we can do that today. Like, we don't need to go to Hollywood to make a feature film.
No.
right? Or like New York or something
Wait,
like that.
and wait till you see, talking about drone footage, wait till you see some of the drone footage in this bad boy. You're gonna shit a chicken.
Oh, dude, I love me some drone
There's
footage.
just one where, like the whole movie takes place, well, most of the movie takes place in Southwest Philly, or that's where it's supposed to
Okay.
take place. Like we shot North Philly and replaced it with South. It's supposed to take place in South Philly, but we shot in North Philly, Southwest Philly. But there's this one shot just in particular, like, they have the shoes hanging on the electric lines.
Oh, dude.
So like the drone is just like in tight, like tracking across all the shoes, and then comes down, and then there's a guy like running up the sidewalk, and we track with him really fast. And the drone picks up and follows him, and then he runs into the house or something like that. But it was awesome. There's a car chase scene. We had the police shut down 69th Street right out by the Tower Theater, and there's a scene where after they do the robbery, they drive away in a souped up Ford Mustang, and we had a stunt driver like fishtailed around the turn and like took off and everything. I had to put my drone, or the drone pilot had to put their drone into ludicrous mode, and that the drone can go up to 40 miles an hour in ludicrous mode, but you also had to turn off like the crash sensors, and we got
then you lose your auto.
4 or 5 takes, and we nailed the take, and then while flying it back, he crashed into the side of the Tower Theater and totaled the drone. But the car was still good and the footage was still good. So it was just the
score.
Cost of doing business, I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But dude, does that really, really, man, fire you up? Like when you see this shot, you're like, bro, this shot 20 years ago was maybe $500,000 for this shot.
Exactly.
We got a camera, we got a helicopter, like eating up gas with massive cinema grade, like it was just a nightmare on film.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just nuts. I can't wait to do. That sounds like a really, really cool shot. The one, the tracking
and there's
across
a bunch
the
of those.
shoes.
I can't wait to share it with you. I did want to give you a heads up, though. I do have to leave to pick up my daughter at volleyball in about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yep. No worries, man. I'll be mindful of that. We can wrap this up. Well, dude, props for the cinematography on One Gun, man. I'm excited to see that. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that release. Speaking of sports, like you said, your daughter, you're picking her up from volleyball. So did you do any sports growing up?
Yeah, I grew up. I grew up playing baseball.
Okay.
Baseball, motorcycle riding, dirt bike riding, and skateboarding and snowboarding.
Okay. So I want to ask you, do you think, like, what have you always been the type of person who's been like competitive, like not overly competitive, but if I'm gonna do something, I'm not gonna like half-ass it. Like I'm gonna try. Like I'm gonna let's. Yeah, I like competition.
Yeah.
That's you.
Absolutely.
And that's you've applied that. This probably allowed you to propel yourself to where you are, man. Is because you're just not afraid to rise up to a challenge.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gnarly. Well, dog, I will wrap this up. So once again, dude, thanks for coming on. If people want to follow you, we got Adam Media Solutions on Facebook. What other channels?
Instagram, it's at Adam Media. We got Hotbox. It's on Instagram. It's Hotbox Bbq PA. And that's it. And my personal Instagram is Duck Duck Juice. You can see videos of my kids playing sports on there and ride motorcycle with me and stuff like that. But yeah. Feel free to connect. But I also want to say thank you for having me on. This was a lot of fun. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, dude, no, I'm glad I got to sit and have like a long form conversation with you because, like I mentioned, never forgot you reaching out your hand out to me and then plugging me into the Lancaster Film and TV group back, those 5 years ago. Just have always kind of admired the work that you have done and the persistence and the hustle. And I love the marketing, and I love that, you seem like the type of guy to probably have thick skin. You understand? It's like, oh, dude, like we just keep going, man. We just keep going. Like there's, what I mean? It's a big world. 50% of the people, if 50% are picking up what I'm putting down, man, I'm batting really, really
well. Dude, if you only knew, bro. If you only knew.
Yeah.
Everybody sees you getting stuff done. They don't know the struggle. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors, and you gotta take care of, make sure everything's in order so that it appears the way it does on the surface. So some of it's a little bit of luck,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but what is it? Is it like luck is like when opportunity meets preparation or something like that?
Well, there's always a good quote that I like. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So,
Ooh, I like it. I like the one, I typically fall in shit, come out smelling like roses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know people like that too. Yeah.
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 So,
yeah.
Man, I love the positivity, dude. Love the energy. Love what you're doing. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Good luck. I have a safe trip out to get that daughter from the volleyball practice. And, dude, I'm sure I will talk to you soon, man. And best of luck to you, the fam, and Ada Media Solutions and Hotboxing.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. Yeah. Hotbox Bbq, baby. Put the South in your mouth.
Let's go, baby. All right. I'm going to end this broadcast. Yo, until next time, keep on keeping on.